You are listening to the William Gomes Podcast. I am William Gomes and I'm grateful to have you here. Today, I want to bring together many of the themes we have explored so far by looking at autism through a whole person lens. Too often, autism is broken down into isolated categories: behavior, communication, sensory differences, or cognitive patterns. But autistic experience cannot be understood by examining these parts separately. It is a whole system, a way of perceiving, processing, and responding to the world that is deeply interconnected. When we view autism through this more complete perspective, we begin to understand not only the challenges autistic people face, but also the strengths, the resilience, and the depth of their experience. A whole person understanding of autism begins with the nervous system. Autistic sensory and perceptual differences shape everything: attention, emotion, learning, and behavior. When sensory input is intense or unpredictable, even everyday environments can become overwhelming. A noisy classroom, a bright waiting room, or a crowded workplace can trigger stress long before a person tries to communicate or learn. This sensory experience influences mood, energy, and tolerance for social interaction. They are not small details, they are foundational. Cognitive patterns are another piece of the whole picture. Autistic people often process information in ways that are deeper, more detailed, or more careful than non autistic people. This can lead to incredible strengths, precision, creativity, focus, but it can also make fast paced or ambiguous situations difficult. When we understand this, we recognize that many so called behavioral challenges are not behavioral at all. They are cognitive overloads. They are signs that the environment is asking for more than the person can process at that moment. Emotion is also part of the whole person picture. Autistic individuals often feel emotion intensely. They may process feelings over a longer period, or they may struggle to identify the source of their emotional state. Anxiety is common because the world can feel unpredictable, socially, sensory wise, or cognitively. But emotional depth is also a source of strength. Many autistic people care deeply for others, value fairness, and bring authenticity to relationships. Communication differences also shape experience. Autistic communication is often clear, honest, and direct. Autistic people may struggle with layers of implied meaning or rapid conversational changes, but this does not mean they lack empathy or emotional understanding. It means they communicate in ways that reflect their processing style. When both autistic and non autistic individuals recognize this, misunderstandings decline and connection becomes more genuine. Behavior is often the most visible part of autistic experience, yet it is only the tip of a much larger system. Behavior reflects sensory input, cognitive load, emotional overwhelm, communication demands, and environmental expectations. When we view behavior as communication, we step away from judgment and step toward understanding. We no longer ask, how do we stop this behavior? We ask, what is this person experiencing and how can we help? Identity also plays a central role. Autistic people are not defined by challenges, they are defined by their way of experiencing the world. Identity grows when people are supported to be themselves, when their differences are respected, and when the world acknowledges their needs without shame. Identity grows when masking is no longer necessary for survival. When autistic people feel safe to exist authentically, their confidence and well being flourish. A whole person approach also recognizes the role of environment. Autism is not something that exists only inside an individual. It exists in the relationship between a person and the world. A supportive environment, predictable, calm, sensory aware, and respectful, can transform an autistic person's day. A challenging environment can increase anxiety, overwhelm, and distress. When we change the environment, we change the experience. Another important part of whole person understanding is acknowledging the lifespan. Autism does not begin with early signs and end with childhood. It evolves through adolescence, adulthood, and older age. Each stage brings new challenges and new strengths. A whole person perspective honors this continuity. It recognizes that autistic people deserve understanding across every age and every chapter of life. When we bring all these elements together, sensory experience, cognition, emotion, communication, behavior, identity, and environment, autism becomes clearer. Not something to fear, not something to fix, but something to understand, something to honor, something that reveals the rich diversity of human minds. A whole person approach also shifts how we support autistic people. Instead of focusing on teaching skills or reducing behaviors, we focus on reducing distress, increasing safety, supporting regulation, and building environments that match the person's needs. We focus on strengths, not deficits. We focus on collaboration, not compliance. We focus on dignity, not correction. Autism is a whole way of being. When we see the whole person, not just the traits, not just the challenges, we open the door to understanding, compassion, and connection. And we build a world where autistic people do not simply survive the demands placed on them, but truly thrive in the environments that support them. In the next episode, we will explore the future, how research, advocacy, and lived experience can shape more inclusive systems for autistic individuals across all stages of life. But for now, I hope this episode encourages you to see autism not through fragments, but through the fullness of the person behind the diagnosis. Thank you for listening. This is the William Gomes Podcast. Take care of yourself, stay curious, and I will speak with you again soon.